All right, welcome friends. Good to see you back here today. I dressed up a little bit with the suit and ties. Not sure if you like it or not. Let's give it a try. So today we're talking a little bit about what's still been in the news a lot, which is the U.S. and Iran conflict. It seems like for the most part, things are going quite well for the U.S. I hear that we have lost some service members, so that's terrible. Of course, we feel bad about anybody being injured or dying in the conflict, but overall, it looks like the U.S. has been able to successfully take control and open the Strait of Hormuz. So that's what I understand, that we're expecting that to stay open during the next week or so. I also understand that there's some confidence that a deal will be reached between the U.S. and Iran. So let's take a look. Today we're at the market stretch, just trying to take a deep breath, practice a little bit of what I call the yoga of investing, which is our weekly check-in. The American indexes, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq 100 have been doing the last week. Let's take a look at how investor confidence has been affected. So the Dow Jones, as of Friday, April 17th, hope you guys got your taxes in. We have the 1 day, it's actually the Dow Jones is up an amazing 1.79%. So remember, if you put $100 in the market, you'd probably be up $1.79. If it's just for 1 day or just $1.79 on your $100 investment, that's good. But think about it, if that happened for 50 weeks in a row, you could be up almost 90% in your portfolio. So doubling your money. Now, the market does go up and down. So we're not always going to be up. We're going to have our up days and down days. There'll be some days when you invest in the market where you're earning money, other days where you most certainly will be losing money. Recently, we've been on a 17-year overall bull market run. So you may feel a little bit like a genius if you've been invested in the overall market in the last 17 years and didn't pull out all your money at the wrong time and stay out. Anyway, let's take a look at the 5-day in the Dow Jones, an amazing 3.62%. So almost 1% every day, or about 0.72% or 0.73%, depending on how you do the math. So we're doing pretty good. If you had $100 in the market, you'd be up to $3.62 for just staying in the market for 1 week. Over 1 month, the market has been up 5.22%. Wow. So we've had a very good month in the market. You would have made about $5 on your $100, $5.22 if you're invested in the Dow. Let's take a look at the 6 months. For the 6 months, overall up 7%. Some people used to say 8% is a good indicator of the market. Well, here for just 6 months, we're actually up 7%. So once again, that $100 would have made you $7 over the last month. Hey, maybe I can go buy a Starbucks for that. Let's go ahead and look at the 1 year in the Dow. 1 year in the Dow has been up an amazing 26.33%. You may be thinking, wow, that's incredible. That's awesome. That's like 3 times what anybody would have expected. Well, I think part of it might have been about a year ago. I think there was something called Liberation Day, if you recall that, when they had the Trump tariffs come in. So perhaps when we go year to year, we might be a little bit at a downward point, coming more towards a high point now. Even though we're in a major conflict with Iran, I think Iran is not putting up quite the fight that we thought, thank God. We'll probably expect that to change a little bit next week. I look forward to next week's update on the Dow. We'll see how that's changed. But for this week, a 1 year look back on the Dow sees us up 26.33%. An awesome way to make money. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. Now, as you'll recall, the S&P 500 is 500 of the largest American companies that are publicly traded, and is the largest according to market cap. If you were to buy one of those 500 companies, how much money it would cost you, largest 500 publicly traded ones. The Dow do make up 30 of the largest of those S&P 500 companies. In the 1 day, we're up 1.2%. In the 5 day, we're up 4.7%. In the 6 month, we're up 6.93%, almost as much as the Dow. And in the 1 year, we're up an amazing, almost 50% more than the Dow, 34.89%. So we have an amazing last year in the stock market. All right, now we're going to take a look at the Nasdaq 100. Remember, the Nasdaq is an exchange second in size in America to the New York Stock Exchange. It's the second largest exchange in the United States. The Nasdaq 100 are the top biggest 100 stocks on the Nasdaq exchange, but they're the ones that we take out all the financial companies. So since tech has been hot recently, we say it's got a little bit more of a tech flavor, a little bit more chip flavor. Don't eat too many chips in one sitting. Don't eat any of these ones. They're silicon chips, But we're going to take a look. Is AI beating the market? Well, let's take a look. During the 1 day, we're up 1.29%. During the 5 day, we're up 6.4%. Okay, it looks like it's beating the Dow and the S&P on that. During the 1 month, up 7.64%. Drum roll, please. For 1 year, we're going to be up 46.09%. So there you have it. Under our current political environment, who would have thought that the major index, the Nasdaq 100, would have increased by 46.09%. All right, if you're surprised by this news, or if you liked the weekly market stretch, please give it a thumbs up, a like, or a share, and look forward to seeing you next week with another amazing market update, the market stretch. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Max Drew, your friendly neighborhood CPA, coming out of Sacramento, California, looking to help you not just with your taxes, but also understanding your finances and making the most of your investments. Take care. See you in the next one.
Follow, message us, or scan the QR code on the screen to learn more.